Good morning. It's Thursday morning, and I am Ayya Vimala, and would like to spend a little time with you, seeing how everyone's doing, how you're feeling, how you're holding up. Teachers getting back to their school years. Everybody's doing something different. I know a lot of the schools in the area around Chicago are online. Some are doing hybrid schools. Some are kind of waiting for the last minute, like the universities, to figure out how it's going to happen, how they're doing it. So I know so many people are just feel like you're up in the air right now, making decisions and having decisions made for you, and hopefully everyone's dealing with it one day at a time and doing the best you can to not be blaming others for inconveniences. I heard a college student on the news talking about the colleges having problems just so soon after students moving back. And she was blaming the university because the university didn't keep her safe. And I thought, all of the precautions the universities put into place, and it's the large parties and things students are having at night, or they think they're doing it kind of secretively, and the numbers are jumping up so quickly. So maybe it's better not to be blaming anyone or any particular thing right now, but instead just looking at our own behavior. You know, once again, going inside. I know it's harder for young people, but wow, we need to start taking personal responsibility in this world, right? And check ourselves and think a little bit before we come up with a solution. And blaming someone else is not helping the situation either. So stay positive, not like Pollyanna positive, but stay optimistic, stay real. You can speak the truth and still be positive. We need to not be dragging ourselves and others down, because there are a lot of people dealing with depression, which makes sense. Because this morning I watched on my telephone, I saw the images. So on YouTube I was watching one of the 24/7 news shows, and saw the images of all the fires once again burning in California. And I lived for California for many years, so I know the areas very well. And if it's not Southern California, it's Northern California, and the fires seem to be getting worse every year. And people are having to evacuate so rapidly, there's just no warning, because the fires are spreading so fast. So we have things like that going on, and I hope people are not thinking that those are not real, that they're just made up, because there are people suffering. And I think of the firefighters marching into those fires, and how brave they are and how willing they are to be helping other people. And I know for most of them it's their job. But it's the same with all of the people who take care of us. And that's everyone from people who work in restaurants preparing food for us because we don't want to cook, or we don't know how to cook, or we like the companionship that we have when we go out to eat with friends. But those people are still working, and people in all of the caring professions are still working. And then I see with these horribly hot temperatures and all of just a line of firefighters, it looks like they're marching into the center of hell, you know, and they're doing it. They do it all the time, and they have no idea, their families have no idea if they're coming home after a day of work, or many days of work perhaps. So we have a lot to be thankful for, and I really, having been a teacher, I really my heart goes out to all the teachers trying to figure out how to work with your students in the most productive way and keep their spirits up and keep each other's spirits up, and have so much compassion for all of you and everyone keeping this country going. I think our gratitude should just be, and compassion should just be overwhelming right now. And not our fear, not our anxiety, but simply compassion. And mix that with gratitude, because so many of us are safe. We're physically safe, and we are still able to see things from a distance, and the path that we're on helps us do that. So if we're meditating, we're looking for peace, and we know that that's a practice that can help us with it. So we can be grateful, if for nothing else, for our practice of being able to find a way to calm ourselves and find compassion in our hearts and find gratitude for everything we do have and the way we're able to have homes and to have food and to take care of our families. And we have, if someone does get sick, we have hospitals and doctors and nurses who are making sacrifices to take care of people. So remember everything that we have going for us. And for all of you watching me individually, I know you're already finding a way of peace through meditation and through the teachings of the Buddha or Christ or the teachers that you respect and listen to. And you know that we need something, a way for us to express that spiritual part of us. And that part of us wants to be at peace, to be filled with compassion and loving kindness. And that part of us wants to be filled with that dispassion too, that ability to step back and watch, be a witness to what's happening without getting caught up in the drama of it. And we can be more help that way. Remember that that's the best way we can help, is to not be caught up in the moment-to-moment drama, and better to be observing it and seeing what we can do and what people need and how we can help without getting caught up in blaming and trying to tear people up and trying to find fault with others and placing the blame everywhere. Those things don't help. And the cry that we hear so much from people and on the news is, who's to blame? We spend a lot of energy and a lot of money and a lot of time looking for who's to blame in situations where maybe the first thing we should be asking is, how can I help? So let's read my wish. I think it gets more and more true for us every day. May I become at all times, both now and forever, a protector for those without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a ship for those with an ocean to cross, a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those who lack shelter, and a servant to all in need. By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join with the unwise, only the wise, until the time I attain Nibbana. And instead of saying Nibbana, you can say, until the time I attain liberation or salvation. Whatever works with your spiritual path and whatever feels right to you. What is the end point? What is the goal at the very end of the journey? And think of it that way. Be willing to stay in the game of compassion, being a compassionate being all the way to the end. I hope you're finding joy in your life, and something I want to share with you next week is going to be the 7 factors for awakening. And the reason I'm really drawn to them right now is they're all really beautiful things that, awakening and not being woke. My kids help me understand the difference. You don't want to being woke is not is not the same as awakening spiritually. So the 7 factors of awakening are beautiful, and they're things that all of us, no matter what our spiritual path is, that we all will be thinking, yeah, this is something I want to encourage and build up more in my life. And it's helping us wake up day to day, and it helps us be able to see more clearly and work more clearly to that ultimate goal on our path. But they're all beautiful and perfectly accessible in every day of our lives now. So next week I'd like to talk about those, because we can I'm very interested in that topic now, and I'll share it with you as I go. So let's sit. We have 15 minutes we can sit together, and now more than ever we need to be sure you have a daily practice of being with yourself, spending whatever time you can. It doesn't have to be a long period at one time. You might have little breaks during the day when you can sit. But when I talk about sitting, find a time when you can be quiet, when you can allow your mind to become still and quiet. It's not if you have thinking you need to do that at a different time, or get that done first. And then when we talk about sitting, it's being silent. It's letting our mind become more and more still for periods of time. Our thinking mind keeps working, and we don't want to repress that, because we can't. But we want to have the stillness that comes from not having to be distracted by every thought. And we can train and work with our minds to allow us that. And then those periods can become longer and longer. But take some time every day. Hopefully you can take at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but you want to be in a place where you can be quiet and just allow yourself to be open to everything around you, but not let it be distracting you and having you go into your thoughts and trying to feed those thoughts with your attention. Just let your mind do what it does, but you are focusing on yourself. So we use our breath, and that's what we'll do now. And if you can put more of these periods into your day, I can guarantee it will help you find more peace of mind, even in the midst of everything that may be going on in your life. You may be looking at a new schedule, getting back to work, or have to find different work. There's so many things that people are going through that are in addition to what we think of as our old normal, right? So we need these times with ourselves to allow ourselves to come home to ourselves. So gently close your eyes if you can. Be in a comfortable position. And if you can, if you're standing or on your back or sitting, you want to feel your spine lengthen. It can be called a regal posture. And you'll find that that actually makes you feel better, makes your back feel better. But work with your body. Everyone has different body issues. Be comfortable. And if you can, close your eyes and breathe through your nose. Have that hand on your belly to be sure your body is who's doing the breathing. We've been teaching ourselves little by little just to let our normal breath be deeper. Feel that as your belly rises and falls with each breath. If it's hard for you to do that and to feel your breath in your belly, you may be anxious or feeling worried or stressed out. So we want to help that. So getting it down, allowing your body to take in deeper breaths, just naturally, we're not forcing it. Also can help us calm down anytime. Now just let your attention be focused on your inhale and your exhale. Just allow your thoughts to come and go. And if you do become distracted by them, which most of us do, and when you notice you're distracted, which is a good sign, very good sign, then bring your attention back to your breath. Over and over, keep coming back to your breath. Let's send out loving kindness and compassion today. We begin with ourselves because we need to be strong. We need to be taking care of ourselves. We need to be sending compassion to ourselves so we're able to also do it for others. May I be well. May I feel safe in my home, in everything I do when I go outside. May I be careful. May I be thinking of the safety of others and myself. May I be content. May I find joy and meaning in my life each day. May I be at peace Now move these thoughts out beyond just yourself and think of your loved ones, the people closest to you, your dear friends, your noble friends, your family members, your peeps. May all of my loved ones, each one of them, be well, and may they feel safe in their world, in their homes, in their neighborhoods, safe in the way they're conducting themselves. May they find joy and purpose every day. And may they be at peace. Now extend the thoughts that you've felt for yourself, that give you a feeling of peace, that allow you to be compassionate and aware of others. Now send these thoughts out to your community. It can be the community where you live. You can create your own community. It could be your neighborhood, your city, the members of your church, the members in your temple. The people you see maybe every day in your apartment or on your street. You name your community. And remember, our communities are filled with people. So many of them we may know very well, but others may be strangers to us. Maybe they're new and we haven't met them yet. Or maybe they live in a part of your community that you think of as your community, but you really don't know the people who were there. So some are strangers, and there may be some people in your particular community who are difficult people for you. You're not so crazy about them. Maybe you try to avoid them or not get in their way. But I want you to think of all of the people in your community, no matter how small or large it is. May everyone in my community be well. May they all feel safe. May they be aware of the safety of others. Having compassion towards themselves and others. May they know joy and find meaning in each day. May they be at peace. May they be free from fear and worry and anxiety. Now send these same thoughts out. Now just allow them to radiate out from you. Just feel these good thoughts and thoughts of compassion and kindness and goodwill just radiate in all directions from you, going out around this planet, reaching all living beings, all animals, keeping us connected. Often the animals are what keep us connected to this world. All human beings, all non-human beings, beings invisible to us, and beings we can see out over this planet and out into space, out into the universe. Because these qualities of compassion and loving kindness, goodwill, are never ending. There's no bound. No one, no place, no being is off limits, is out of bounds. Once we began sending these thoughts of goodwill and compassion and kindness, it doesn't stop, it doesn't end. But then that feeling of spaciousness and a kind of emptiness, but a most beautiful kind of emptiness, can make us feel free, we're opening our hearts, we're opening our minds, we're moving beyond ourselves. We'll end this meditation with my wish again. May I become at all times, both now and forever, a protector for those without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a ship for those with an ocean to cross, a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those who lack shelter, and a servant to all in need. By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join with the unwise, only the wise, until the time I attain Nibbana. Now thank you so much for sharing practice with me, for being here. Find some more time today. Keep sitting if you can now. Your mind's probably in the perfect state to continue sitting. Just let that peace, let that quiet peace just stay with you for a while. Have a beautiful day, and I hope you do something silly and find joy, and do something kind for yourself and for someone else today. I'll see you tomorrow.